Referred to Russian President Vladimir Putin as a murderer during an interview with President Trump. In the same interview, Mr. Trump again reiterated that he respects the Russian leader. CNN's Claire Sebastian is live in Moscow with us for more. The Kremlin kind of getting it both ways, being shown so much love by President Trump, but then being called a killer by the person interviewing him. How are they reacting?
Yeah, it's interesting, Miguel, in the last couple of hours that those comments coming out from the Kremlin spokesman, Dmitry Peskov, saying that calling the comments by Bill O'Reilly labeling President Putin a killer unacceptable and offensive. But interestingly, when asked to respond to how Mr. Trump responded to that, saying that the U.S. is also not so innocent in that department, he said he would prefer not to comment. So the message here is that the U.S. administration is leaving the door open to a potential improvement in relations with Russia, and Russia is doing the same.
Just over a week ago, Donald Trump issued an executive order temporarily banning nationals from 7 Muslim-majority countries, including Iraq, Iran, Syria, and Yemen. After a federal court suspended the travel ban, Trump's administration made an emergency appeal. But the court denied its request. Trump criticized the decision on Twitter, saying, "What is our country coming to when a judge can halt a Homeland Security travel ban and anyone, even with bad intentions, can come to the U.S.?" He also lashed out at the judge behind the decision. In a rare personal attack from a U.S. president on the judiciary, he said, "The opinion of this so-called judge, which essentially takes law enforcement away from our country, is ridiculous and will be overturned." But protesters across the U.S. disagree. Thousands gathered outside Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort where the president has been staying to show that they are still angry about the ban.
Oh no!
A collision between a bus and a lorry in Honduras on Sunday left at least 23 people dead and 39 injured, according to the FA news agency. The crash took place about 10 kilometers from the nation's capital, Tegucigalpa, on a road heading to the south of the Central American country. Unconfirmed reports say the driver of the cargo lorry lost control and struck the bus before fleeing. The head of the National Transport Authority told reporters that investigators were assessing whether or not the lorry had been speeding. The injured were taken to hospital in Tegucigalpa, where 2 people were said to be in a serious condition with severe head injuries. Road accidents represent the second highest cause of death in Honduras.
For the Catholic Church, it was a day of reckoning, mea culpa, for the sins of its past.
As Catholics, we hang our heads in shame.
The Royal Commission has laid bare child sex abuse in the Catholic Church. Today, its enormity was tallied up. Between January 1980 and February 2015, 1,880 alleged abusers were identified, with more than 4,000 complaints about abuse of boys at an average age of 11 and a half, girls 10 and a half, bringing church leaders to tears. Between 1950 and 2010, an astonishing 7% of all Catholic priests were alleged abusers, more than 20% of Marist brothers and 22% of Christian brothers, a staggering 40.4% of St John of God brothers, as the Church looked away.
Documents were not kept or they were destroyed. Secrecy prevailed, as did cover-ups.
Action,